Oh, Vander's strong.
The hug from Vander to Forgiven, the lift of Ryu, and I think we all know what is coming next from H2K as they just secured the third place spot and perhaps have put themselves in prime position to go to Worlds.
All they need now is for G2 to win it, and they're in it. For
Definitely.
Unicorns, a lot of questions for them to answer, but they still have a chance in the gauntlet.
Yeah, Unicorns will be in the gauntlet. H2K, as you said, if G2 wins, they will go to Worlds. If G2 loses, well then H2K will have the highest championship points in the gauntlet and will just have to play the very last round of the gauntlet and win one BO5 to make it. Could be against Unicorns, very likely, to then make it to Worlds.
Couple of touch and go moments, perhaps.
There's
you can see Freeze on stage, like the majority of the regular split.
And that's what we gotta remember with this H2K team. Like, we all expected way more. Let's just hear it first. Never mind, they're fading. Let's not hear it. But this is the team, you know, with so many problems, honestly. Looking at the entire year, Forgiven when you played in spring, and suddenly with the military, and then you had Ryu with the visa, and you had now Freeze getting injured. They managed to make it anyway, win this third place game.
Improving on the spring performance, so much adversity, but this team did show that they could triumph when it mattered. And of course, for Jankos and Vander representing in their home country, this has got to mean a lot.
Let's get it. Come on, H2K.
We know you want it.
They've done it
twice.
All year long. They all look very confused, but also happy.
I thought it was going to be just going to bask in.
That's a well-earned one indeed.
Want the crowd to join. Of course, they've been very loud today cheering for H2K from the start.
Oh yeah.
Crazy cheers, obviously, when Jankos and Vander walk on stage.
And you got to look at those last two games and say that with the hype behind them after a rocky game 2 where the Unicorns would win, H2K found that form that we've seen from them in the playoffs, at least against like the Fnatic series where it's just dominance. Just open up with the right draft and the right set of champions with the early game going their way, and H2K just steamroll the objective.
Yeah, I would just like to see, you know, an H2K lineup like this without all the problems they've had during the year, because we know they can be a fantastic team. We know a guy like Jankos, you see on screen here, can be and is one of the absolute best junglers we have, not only in Europe but in the West. Like, the guy is fantastic in game when he gets to just go off. This game he had a free game on Italy, honestly. There was absolutely nothing really move and Unicorns could do against him.
They put the investment in early and then it paid out in game 4.
Definitely, there was the one sneaky move, gang. Well, I'm really glad you actually spotted it, because it was, they did see him in the bottom lane and then he flashed over anyway.
Sad that happened.
Yeah, it's like, he's bottom lane, but like, no one on Gragas like body slams over there, flashes in and kills the AD carry level 3, except for move.
Pulled it off.
There's a couple of stories here, though. I mean, we're one step away from Forgiven at Worlds.
Yes.
We've already seen Jankos and Vander this time turn around their playoff fortunes. You know,
it was very different from what we normally see from an H2K story. You know, you see them surge in the regular season, the regular split, and then in playoffs, they've just had a lot of trouble. This time around,
all the way around?
Last minute, they start picking things back up.
Ryu's back. We've seen a couple of great games.
Oh, and he's, you know, he's just one G2 victory away from going straight for Faker.
Like that's the thing. We talk so much about the return of Forgiven, but if we look at H2K, it's actually a lot of the solo laners. It's Jankos really stepping up here in playoffs. Odoamne had another good series here, where it doesn't always look very flashy, but he does his job every single time, and that's why you can always count on him, you know, to support the team when needed. He takes it for the team, goes Shin 3 times around. He doesn't get to carry.
But then he gets Gnar. It's okay. It's worth it.
Then he gets Gnar in the end.
And the last thing we can say after last week, Prolly's back. That adaptation.
They actually changed their bans, and it worked. They adapted really well to pick up animals.
Last week they were just messing around. They were saying, it's okay. You're not
Maybe he couldn't turn the page in the book or something. It's like, oh, we got the ban.
We only got one playbook, guys. Yeah, but this time he had the full one, and it really worked out. Unicorns, you know, they just couldn't keep up with it.
Which I think is a little bit of a shame. You heard the analysts predicting Unicorns. Everybody's been talking about how good they have been. I feel like H2K showed up better than expected from a lot of people today.
Yep.
But the Unicorns, they got to now focus on the gauntlet.
Absolutely, they do indeed. But with third place in the bag for H2K, let's head down to Pulse to hear what he has to say and what the hometown heroes want to talk to them about.
Thank you so much, guys, and great work on the casting desk today. I'm, of course, here with Jankos and Vander. I'm just going to give you a second for the crowd to get behind you. and they have been behind you today. First question over to you, Jankos. Unicorns were looking, honestly, very good coming into this matchup. Analysts were even saying that they would pick up this series, but you handed it to them. Talk to me about how this series went for you.
Well, I think the series wasn't that hard, simply because I think our pick and ban improved a lot since the Splice game. I also believe Unicorns have worse individual players. So that means if you have similar team play, we'll just kind of easy win, you know? Also, we didn't...
Go ahead.
Also, I'm really happy that we didn't choke this time, like last playoffs, and that means we didn't go to the 5th game, which could be very hard for us, as per usual. And as long as G2 wins tomorrow, we are going World Finals, so I'm happy.
Go G2.
Go G2.
Go G2, and over to you, Vander, as well. Ending up now in 3rd place, maybe I'll give you the microphone, no problem, or maybe you can interview him, it's all good. But now looking at the split and also the playoffs as well, how have those been for you? Because maybe 3rd place, a bit of a disappointment?
Well, I'm really sorry for everyone who came here that we don't play tomorrow. We are 1 game off, and I think we should have taken the series against Splice, but we beat ourselves, I would say. So obviously there is a slight disappointment we don't play tomorrow, but if G2 wins and we go for World Finals, it doesn't really matter.
Absolutely. And I just have one last thing for you guys before we head up to the analyst desk. So talking about playing here, of course, in front of your home crowd here in Poland, what does it mean to you to pick up this win? Would you maybe be able to give me an answer in Polish as well to your Polish fans here in the arena?
Dziękujemy za przybycie i za doping, za liczne flagi, transparenty, to niezmiernie miłe, także cieszymy się, że byliście tu dla nas. And going back to the question, we play in LCS since 3 years, I think, and we were really close to playing IM Katowice twice, and we missed the chance really by the slight margin. So it's obviously we always wanted to play in front of our Polish crowd and our country, so we felt like it's our home advantage today. So
fantastic. And Jankos, of course, extending the same question to you. What does it mean to you winning this series in front of these guys?
Well, it was my dream to play in Poland. So dziękuję wam za przybycie. Polska!
Good stuff, guys. Well, congratulations on the win. Very convincing at the very end. And got the chant going as well. Thank you very much, guys, for taking the time to talk to me. We're now going to send it over to the analyst desk to break down this day.